I'm Buddy Valastro, and welcome to Fast Cakes, where we make cakes at the speed of light. How do you amp up a regular old box cake? I'm going to show you how right here on Fast Cakes. Peanuts accentuate the icing a little. It's an easy way to take a little cake that's like, into something that's like, oh my friggin' God. So, let's start.
Hello, I'm Chad Durkin. We're going to be making a peanut butter cake, and we're going to add a little bit of flair to it, which is going to be adding crunchy peanuts. So first I have my peanuts. My other component is going to be granulated sugar, as well as the little rum. So first, I'm gonna toast the nuts, and we're gonna make the crunchy component for our cake. So I have about 1.5 cups of toasted peanuts here. I'm gonna add about a 2 count of the liquor. Then I'm gonna toss it just to wet the outside of the nut. Then take sugar and just sprinkle over the surface of your nuts to coat. Take your tray, bunch of parchment paper, space out your nuts, and then we're gonna go into the oven. So after you take them out of the oven, I let them cool for 5 minutes or till I can handle them, and then I toss them around. We'll set them aside, and now we're gonna start our cake. So you could purchase your favorite type of cake mix. In this case, this is like a super moist chocolate cake. I baked my cakes already, so I'm just gonna wait for you. So I baked off 2 8-inch chocolate cakes here. There's a little crown on the top. I trimmed that off, and then I trimmed them in half. For this particular cake, I'm only going to be using 3 layers. So I'll set this extra cake aside. I'm going to take my first cake and place it onto the cake wheel. Next, I'm going to get my vanilla icing, and in this case, a nice smooth peanut butter. So to make this icing, it's about 2 parts icing to 1 part peanut butter. So I'm going to fold these 2 components together to make my icing. I'm going to mix it thoroughly. I have a plain piping bag here. This is a pretty large one. I'm going to put my French tip into the bag. Put our first layer of icing down. I'm trying to do the same depth as our cake. Next, I'm gonna add just a light layer of a toasted nut. Remember, if you add too much, when you try to cut it, it'll actually make the cake fall apart. But what you wanna do is add just enough so that when you cut it, every time you take a bite, you get a little bit of a crunch, icing, and cake. We'll add our next layer. I'm ready to ice my cake. Add a little bit to our top first. Then our edges. Smooth the top first. Then the sides. This is what you call a decorator's comb. I'm going to be using 2 types of techniques on this cake. So first, I'm going to ice it till it's smooth. Next, I'm going to take the plane, I'm going to create a kind of a peel away effect, and then I'm going to smooth the top. Now I do this kind of like how a plane lands in a landing field. A nice, smooth landing. Now we're pretty much ready for the next component. So in this case, we're using ganache, which is chocolate and heavy cream in a ratio of 2 parts heavy cream to 1 part chocolate. So in this case, I'm going to do a little bit of a drip technique as well as a nice layer on top. Now, we're gonna garnish. Here I have a peanut butter flavored sponge candy. You probably recognize this candy. I'm just gonna chop it roughly. And again, this cake's all about texture. We're just going to place our peanut butter flakes on the cake. I sometimes start with a basic pattern in the center, and I work my way out to fill the voids. Next, I'll kind of fill in with peanuts. And then lastly, I'm just gonna add a nice little flare of our buttercream to the top in simple dollops. There you have it, our peanut butter crunch cake. Enjoy! Thank you for watching Fast Cakes. Please like our video and subscribe to our channel. And remember, if you leave a comment below, maybe you could see your cake on Fast Cakes.